a talent scout said about Elvis Presley. Elvis is a kid with greasy hair, dirty socks, and no future. What happened after this? This is the great man, one of the most celebrated musicians of the 20th century, the best-selling solo artist in the history of recorded music. Nominated for 12 Grammy Awards, won 3 of them. Grammy Lifetime Achievement Awards at the early age of 36, included in multiple halls of fame. He is Thomas Watson of IBM. 1943, he said, I think there is a world market for about 5 computers. You know? And where are we now? Lord Kelvin, the famous scientist after whom the temperature unit that is used in scientific measures, Kelvin is used. Heavier than air, flying machines are impossible. This was a statement regarding aircrafts. And this is what happened. This is where we are today. You know, we are in the era of A380s and F-35s. People will soon get tired of staring at plywood box. This was a statement made in the context of television, TV. This is how it was there, then this, and this is probably we find it now. Isn't there a common theme in all of this? Yes, it is. That theme is of innovation, creativity, being persistent, unlocking potential, and of course, continuously evolving. What does it have to do with the subject that I'm going to be talking about today, right? Like what these individuals or what these technologies have proved themselves or proved the world wrong, probably we procurement professionals also tend to do day in, day out, right? Be it being part of innovation cycle, be it part of cost improvement cycle, be it part of improving the whole profitability for the organization cycle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, takes to today's subject of how procurement's evolution, revolution, its impact and ROI, and how innovation can be woven around it. So to me, the way I look at it is it's a 3 or 4 step process is what I believe it is. While I will delve into it one by one as I go along with the presentation, the first and very crucial element of this is how a cost-centric approach be transposed into an innovation-led approach. There are multiple pillars of that, be it category management, spend management analytics that we do, profitability lens versus a cost management lens, speed and agility, and of course, how one can identify new business opportunities being in procurement function. Second element is all about culture of innovation. So it's just not about innovation happens just like that. It is imperative for organizations and procurement functions in particular to have those cultures or those ways of working imbibed in what we do on day-to-day basis. Clearly manifested through how you leverage various strategic sourcing pillars, how robust your innovation management program is within the organization, various benchmarkings that you do for products and services, and of course the continuous improvement that you need to have to be active in this game. Third and very crucial element is your supplier ecosystem, how mature they are and how aligned they are with your business objectives. Supply segmentation being the very first area to work upon. Strategic joint planning or initiatives that you can take up with your key strategy suppliers. What experience that suppliers have out of the relationship that we end up having with them. And of course, the quality stewardship. One crucial element is because being in procurement or any function for that matter in supply chain domain, what we deal with is problems on day-to-day basis. So having very creative way of looking at problems and solving them is very crucial. And I'm not going to talk about a technical way to solve problems, but I think we know whether it is Six Sigma, whether it is Fishbone or various traditional tools that you have. What I'm going to talk about today is more on the process and the human aspect of entire problem solving culture. And what it finally dwells down or zeroes down to, what kind of Raja strategies and KPIs that you have to determine the returns that you get from various investments that you do, which are more in the form of resources and efforts that you put in. First is, as I mentioned, is a movement from cost-centric approach to an innovation-driven approach. 4 to 5 pillars of that, starting with category management. I think this is, in a nutshell, what strategic category management would entail in any procurement function, whether it is products or services. Having developed a very thorough understanding of what your products and categories are, it will include the detailed spend, various attributes and specifications. So what defines the products and services that you have, that you offer to your internal as well as external customers is very crucial, which classifies further through whether it's a generic product, whether it's a tailor-made product, whether it is proprietary product, because nature of this classification will determine what kind of sourcing strategies that you are going to deploy so far as your sourcing is concerned. Second element is assessing the profit impact that each and every product that you source or every service that you source has on the organization, how crucial it is for organization success and long-term profitability, coupled with supply risk. I think we had a session on the larger element of supply chain or supply risk. So how crucial that role plays in the organization's profitability is very important, and this particular element of category management help us address that. Market structures, what are your suppliers, where are they located, whether they're part of a kind of an ecosystem which is monopolistic, or there are multiple options available. A detailed assessment of that is very crucial for one to assess where your product and service lie in the larger way of working, and what your actions will have an impact on so far as your own industry's ways of workings are concerned, and what your competitors do, which may also affect you. So a thorough analysis and understanding of that is what determines what gets determined in this particular phase. An impact of course, internal environment, which is not only environment, which is the environment we live in. It is the political, it is social, economical, all those elements of environment which have impact on the products and services that we source. Third is thorough understanding of value chain and cost drivers, because every product and services typically will get determined by 2-3 key cost drivers. A classical Pareto principle. There are many trivials but very few vitals. So distinguishing them and concentrating on those vital few is very crucial, and then the cost center analysis and value chain analysis approaches help us do that. And finally, the business imperative, which is primarily your internal stakeholders, what is their expectation from the procurement department. So be it product or brand equity, as well as quality, cost and cash. This is primarily the whole element of internal finance stakeholders and what their expectations are from the strategic sourcing as a function. And of course, service, which is the supply chain domain, which is the service level and other key elements of service that we have. So what we are trying to do through this is, have a very robust architecture towards various products and services that we source, which will help us determine a tailor-made sourcing strategy. So an outcome could be a product for which you have long-term contracts, a set of products for which you have a short-term contracts, a set of products for which you will go for replacement buying, because that is the best way forward. An analysis which goes through these filters helps you to have a tailor-made strategy, and then you end up developing something which perfectly works for you and your organization. The other elements are speed and agility. So I think the pace of opportunity identification in today's VUCA world, where world is changing very rapidly, how equipped you and your procurement teams are to identify various opportunities lie out there for you to grab upon. So how quickly you can capitalize upon them, execute on them, and have internal alignments and closure, because gone are the days where what you do will impact only your function. Today, any initiative which is in the domain of procurement professional will end up impacting n number of functions, be it planning, be it logistics, be it warehousing, finance and commercial, of course, direct impact on product service, and hence the brand that you represent. So how agile you are in having those internal alignments so that their interests are also taken on board, and also backup plans, because not everything that you plan to do or aspire to do works the way you want it to do. So what are your backup plans in place will give that plan a higher probability of success. Spend management, I think having very detailed internal spend through categorization of the products that you do is very crucial. And then synergies, because I think for organization like where I come from, in consumer good industry, on one side I'm dealing with a very simple product like salt, which is not as simple as one would assume it to be. I deal with salt, I deal with tea, I deal with value-added products for which I need to procure fresh vegetables also, like ginger and garlic. So, and while handling such a diversified portfolio, there are many synergies which can arise, because even though those products seem mutually exclusive from one another, ways of working, strategies of sourcing have a significant impact on how one category can behave for you. So a very methodical way of identifying those synergies is what probably separates leaders from laggards. And I think having those programs in place is very, very crucial for one to have everyday innovative approach in procurement. COGS and margin impact, I think, again, moving from a cost-centric approach to a profitability-led approach is very crucial, because that is the area where one would see that, yes, while one would say I have said X% of cost, but when procurement professional starts in the language of this is how I improved profitability of my brand, because at the end of the day, we exist because we sell brands or we sell products, and we generate value for our stakeholders, including our shareholders. So having that margin or realization lens is very crucial, even though we are a cost-centric function. I earlier talked about new business opportunities, because by nature of our function, we actually get exposed to so many other things which we can translate internally or transpose internally to our sales and marketing for them to look at those initiatives. Now, a breakthrough innovation may not be possible through this, but an incremental innovation for a view to move into an adjacent category in which you are, I think something that procurement can definitely add a value to it, and then be a larger part of innovation program for any organization. I just tell you, so under Tata Sampann as a brand, we sell a range of pulses, spices, various other staple products. And because we were working with a specific associates who was also in the business of sourcing and packing makhana, gave potential idea that, whether this could be one area for us to get into. And that also coincided with a larger organization view of entering into makhana as a product category. And then this way, in certain contexts, procurement teams' views or their experience could help us identify one innovation opportunity. Again, it's not a breakthrough innovation. The product is already there in the market, but offering a quality makhana under a Tata brand, that becomes became a very valued proposition for us to take ahead. Second element is a culture of innovation, because it's not only important to identify opportunities, but make it a habit on a day-to-day basis. So these are the four broad levers which I'd like to talk about. I'll just quickly skip to the details of that. The first is application of levers that we procurement professional work on day-to-day basis, be it reduce the usage, remove certain elements without affecting quality or the service element of the product, reuse, I think whether it is recyclable materials or, reusage of the material, again, it could be secondary, tertiary packaging aspect of it, whether one can do it actually without, again, compromising the product quality. Specification optimization is one key element that we work on every day. Supply base and geographical diversification. So it not only helps you to improve the cost efficiency, but it's a key element in spreading the risk, right? So if you have two key supply base, one in north of India and one in south of India, something goes in north, something goes off in north, you have your southern suppliers to take care of you. If something is wrong at both the places, I think something is terribly has gone wrong with the country. Then we need a different plan altogether. But what I'm trying to say is, geographical diversification at a local, regional, and global level is very crucial, right? The second element is a methodical way of tracking and implementing these projects through a robust project management kind of an initiative, where you have SME subject matter experts who either are dedicated on these projects or are pulled from individual functions and lead these initiatives for the organization. Having a detailed project charters which track what is in scope, what is out scope, what end impact you are going to have so far as the your initiative, innovation, and cost improvement initiative is concerned. Prioritizing the resources, because see, everything cannot be executed. Something may be ahead of its time. Something may not be worth the effort of so many critical resources involved, because the returns may not be that great. The balance between realization versus the effort that you put in. So having a very clear matrices on that is crucial. And validation with finance partners is the most important things, because it is really fashionable to say that, I have said X crore rupees, but so long as every rupee doesn't get validated and finance ensures that is flowing into P&L and baked into your budgets, so that, it becomes a new standard for you to operate upon. I think that is something that needs to be done without giving a miss. Benchmarking, I think the world is full with, I would say, all, inspiration. So whether it is your own product in other categories, competition's products, competition services, having a structural program to identify or learn something from others is very crucial, and how quickly you can adopt, so long as you are not infringing on IP. And of course, putting this in a continuous loop. The third element is the SEI, supplier-enabled innovation. I think in this graph, one would argue who is standing up and who is standing below. In my view, it is an interchangeable kind of a role. At times, it will be our suppliers who will be pulling us up, and in certain contexts, it will be we who will be working closely with suppliers to improve their capabilities and their offerings. So supplier segmentation, which is the very crucial aspect. Again, I will not spend, this is the classical supplier segmentation pyramid. What one would typically like to concentrate on strategic suppliers who typically have higher capability, better risk management practices, better backward integration, and which naturally offers them capability to offer solutions. And these are the three other elements. I think the JBP, or the joint business planning, is very crucial element, where you elevate your alliance from being a supplier customer to being an associate. A supplier who is supplying you a commodity can become a packer of that very same product for you, offering the finished goods services, right? Or he can be partner in investing together with you in certain technologies which probably standalone basis may not be possible, but a joint business plan can make it possible. And I think mobile telephony is the great example of that, where entire ecosystem has got created around the moment iPhone is launched, or moment iPhone factory comes in, the whole ecosystem gets developed around it. Automobile industry is a prime example of that as well. Gain sharing is another one classical concept, right? Because say finally everybody will put their effort, sweat into something, provided they have something to get from it, right? So for certain projects where you need that collaboration, that extra effort from your supplier, having yeah, I think it's a third bell. Probably I'll take 2 more minutes and quickly wind it up. Gain sharing. So having an aligned view on for a period of next 2-3 years, this is how we are going to segregate or share the gain amongst ourselves. Those kinds of concepts can help foster relationship for a very long time. Supplier experience, all about improving capability of suppliers and how suppliers experience our relationship with them. And of course, while doing so, should not be any compromise on the product and process quality. So having robust matrices around it. Fourth element is creative problem solving. Again, no tools. It is mainly about having joint goals, not only within your teams, with other functional partners, but with the suppliers as well. Proof of concept. So don't go for something which is a big bang kind of a thing. Work quickly on a small scale. Ensure it works. You will understand the limitations. You will understand the challenges. Work on them and then scale it up. I think that approach can help us crack very big and crucial initiatives. Solving for root causes. So if demand is fluctuating, then changing the norm may not be always a solution. So what can help to address that kind of a fluctuation? Maybe a replenishment-based system could be a solution than an easy solve as an increase in storage inventory or storage norm. And finally, this is the last slide. So after doing all this, how do you measure whether you are arrived there? I think these are some of the KPIs that you can have to measure the return on the investment that you put in this whole exercise, which is, and what is our investment in this? When I say I, the procurement professional, it is our effort, our time, our expertise, right? And way to measure is to measure through total delivered cost, unit cost, and not the gross cost save, right? Tomorrow, Apple can say they saved $1 million, but a company which is having trillions of dollars of revenue, $1 million is nothing. So percentage or unit cost saved or improved is one key criteria that we should have as procurement professionals. Gross margin profitability improvement, and in certain industries, right, where you peg your products against the competition and you try to maintain that relative pricing index. So what procurement professionals are helping to either maintain or improve that relative price index, which is RPI. I think you would have heard these terms quite a lot. How we can positively impact that could be another KPI. Working capital improvement, always be it optimization of payment terms, inventory days, debts payable, and all. On the product yield side, percentage loss reduction or yield improvement take care of a crucial element of COGS as well as avoiding cost of poor quality. And finally, suppliers' contribution to innovation, which is through suppliers' ideas, whatever innovations were enabled, what is the revenue that organization got, or what is the contribution of those initiatives in total cost savings. So that to me, ladies and gentlemen, what can be done to see whether all these cost plus innovation initiatives led by procurement are helping organization run. So with this, I take your leave. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.